Welcome back, everybody. This is the FX Chief. I'm excited about this lesson 6 because it's all about how important it is to alter your attitude, because when you alter your attitude, you can end up altering your trading results. As a matter of fact, do you realize that when you alter your attitude, you end up altering your life? I mean, think about it. How many people, seriously, that have a negative attitude that you love being around? Now, how many people that have a positive, uplifting attitude that you just love being around? Did you realize that you are the sum average of the 5 people you hang around? And as a matter of fact, do you realize that whoever you hang around, 33% of those people are above your level, 33% are at your level, and 33% are below your level. This 33% that are below your level, you know what their whole focus is? It's to drag you down. And you know the 33% that are above your level, you know what their focus is? Their focus is to pull you up. And so the real question is, what are you doing hanging around this 33%? Because if you're the sum average of the top 5 people you hang around, wouldn't you like to get rid of this 33% and turn it into where 66% of the people you hang around are above your level and the 33% are at your level? You have a greater hope of achieving success. You know, when you hang around 5 negative people for 5 years, on the 6th year, you'll be the 6th negative person. But if you hang around 5 positive millionaires for 5 years, there's a high percentage chance that on the 6th year, you'll probably be a millionaire yourself. One of the greatest discoveries of my trading career is that a trader can alter his trading results by altering their attitude. I said you could alter your life by altering your attitude. Think about it. And you can alter your trading results by altering your attitude. So much of life is attitude, and it's not negative attitude. I'll tell you what, when I see negativity of any style, when I am around people that love to gossip, love to complain, love to whine about how horrible their life is, man, I run as if there was a plague in town, because I don't want anything to do with that. I need all the positive energy that I can get into my life. Do you realize that 97% of all people die flat broke because they stopped dreaming somewhere along the way? As a matter of fact, they took on an attitude that life beat them down, that life won, that life conquered them, and they no longer have dreams. How sad that 97% of all people, and we talked about this in a previous lesson, end up retiring and going to their death in a state of poverty with no dignity. Did it ever occur to you? I mean, you know what? The older people get, the more stubborn and grumpy they get. This is the reason why. Because, you know, during the course of their lives, they had problems, and we talked about adversity, and we talked about problems in our lives. They had problems that conquered them instead of them conquering their problems. They had problems that turned them into victims instead of becoming victors. They had problems and challenges in their life that instead of winning above and beyond those problems, they turned into whiners. And so now you got all these old, grumpy, miserable people walking around in life, you know, not happy. And what slowly happens in their life? Boom, boom, boom. Things in their life just don't go their way. Relationships go down. You know, friendships are lost. You know, income disappears. So they end up working where? At a grocery store, perhaps as a greeter in Walmart. You can change all that by altering your attitude from a state of negativity. Now, if you're listening to me and you're challenged with being more negative on a daily basis than you are positive, then take responsibility for your destiny and your future. alter your attitude from negativity to positivity, because more amazing things will come into your life when you think positive. Now, successful trading on the Forex is not a fantasy, it's a formula. And a critical ingredient to that formula is a positive attitude. A positive attitude is the high performance fuel that keeps the engine running. Now think for a second. Having a positive attitude in your life and in your trading career is a lot like having a GPS in your car. It tells you exactly where you need to go to get to your destination. It's like having all the fuel in a high-performance car. That's what a positive attitude is. But a negative attitude is like in a car with sludge gas and 4 flat tires. Where are you going to go? See, you let the problems of your life slow you down, drag you down, don't let you achieve. Listen, if you're walking around with massive problems and living in a life of negativity, you're around negative people, let me tell you one of the things I had to do. I was learning to trade, and my family were Debbie Downers in my life. They were really upset with me because I struggled for 5 years. Think about it. I made no income for 5 years. And my family was like, you know what? You need to go out and get a real job. I was like, this is my real job. This is my dream. I'm chasing my dream. Okay? It got to the point, do you realize I had to divest myself from my family for 10 years while I was learning to trade? And you know the amazing thing about Debbie Downers? When you finally make it, guess what they do? They come back into your life. Boy, you know, I knew you'd make it. I knew you'd be a millionaire. You know, I knew you'd be successful. That's what they do. Because, see, they beat you down while you're down. And then when you become a success, all of a sudden, you know, they're your best friend. They want to now party with you where they wanted nothing to do with you before. So you got to be real careful who you hang around with, because you become the sum average of the 5. Now, there's an amazing thing that takes place in our lives. And that is, you know, I was in New York City, in Chinatown. And I came across the fish market that they have in Chinatown. Great fish. But I'll tell you, I saw 2 big barrels of crabs. I mean, full of crabs. And then I saw a half barrel next to it and a gunny sack over it. So I asked the guy, well, what's in this barrel? Oh, he lifts up the gunny sack and there were 3 crabs in there. And then he puts the gunny sack back over. He says, they're crabs. I said, well, why do you keep those covered and you keep all these open? He said, well, there's an amazing thing about crabs. As long as there's all kinds of crabs, if one tries to get away, all the other crabs grab onto him and hold him in the barrel. But when there's 2 or 3 in a barrel, they'll all get away. When I walked off, I thought, wow, man, that's life in a nutshell. How many times have you tried to become better in your life, but your friends and family hold you back? They have a tendency to say, don't you dare run away. Don't you dare change your lifestyle. Don't you dare become better. And they hold you back, just like all those crabs, okay? Sometimes you have to break away and you have to give up certain things for certain periods of time. It's just the nature of life. Jealousy is seriously, it's a horrible emotion. It holds people back. Don't let anybody hold you back. See, what we think about radiates out of our being and creates circumstances and events that align with what we think about. Now, I told you how my mom would make me in the morning. If I went into the kitchen with a bad attitude, she would tell me to get back in bed and stay in bed until I could get out of bed with a positive attitude. So I had to get back out of bed with a positive attitude. Now, why? Because my mom, being the wise mother she was, she realized that, you know, during the course of a day, we have all kinds of challenges. And we're not going to be able to overcome those challenges with a bad attitude. But we have a high percentage chance of overcoming those challenges with a great attitude. See? And so what we think about positive or negative, radiates out of our being and creates circumstances and events that align with what we think about. You think negative, you feel negative in your gut, you are going to go out, you're going to be in a bad mood, you're not going to be kind to people, and you're going to create more negative circumstances and events that align with your negative attitude. And you will attract more negative people during the course of that day that will do nothing more than hurt you. They don't help you. You know why? Because birds of a feather flock together. Now, if you get up and, like my mom said, change your attitude to a positive attitude, what you think about radiates out of your being, creates circumstances and events that align with what you think about. You will go out, you'll be happy, you'll be loving, you'll be kind, you will attract more positive people, and you will create more positive circumstances and events, and you will attract positive people that can help you. And boy, don't we need all the help we can get in this life. So how critical is a positive attitude? It's your life that's dependent on your attitude. It's your future that's solely dependent on your attitude. Positive attitude, positive future. Negative attitude, negative future. You must understand this. Now, the big difference between an optimist, who is positive, and a pessimist, who is negative, is the pessimist believes every challenge, every problem has a dead end and is not possible to solve or overcome. To where the optimist, everything is solvable and there isn't anything that can't be achieved. Now, I know this mentorship is going to people all over the world. But back in the 1960s, in that era, President John F. Kennedy was the President of the United States. He got on television worldwide. And unbeknownst to NASA, who builds the rockets for America, he announced that man would go to the moon within 10 years, and that we would literally put a man on the moon and bring him back. That's what he announced, that America would be the first people on the moon. Now, as soon as he finished his speech, man, the White House phones went ringing like crazy. Everybody at NASA was calling, saying that's impossible. It can never be done. We can't achieve that, not even in 20 years. And the directive from President Kennedy was this: you tell every single engineer, you tell every single administrator, every single leader at NASA, you tell them that it's possible. And you know what? It became possible. All it took was one man to have a backbone, and then everybody else's backbone stiffened up, and they achieved the unachievable, at least in their minds. Think about how powerful it is. John F. Kennedy having a positive attitude. We can do anything. He wasn't a pessimist. Everybody at NASA being a bunch of pessimists. We can't do that. We can't achieve that. What, are you crazy? But see, think about it. Look at the age we live in today. Look at all the things technologically that are happening that we thought it was impossible. Man, you know what? If we showed the technology we have today to people that lived in the 1800s, they would be so blown away. They would have said, man, it would be like Star Trek. But we're living in Star Trek times, if you really think about it, all because people choose to believe and be optimists versus pessimists. And so think for a second. If you walk around being a pessimist, don't you think you owe it to yourself, owe it to your friends, owe it to your family to turn into an optimist? If you walk around with a negative Debbie Downer attitude, don't you think you owe it to yourself, your family, your significant other? I see marriages break up because somebody's Debbie Downer negative. Who wants to be a Debbie Downer negative? Negativity is like a cancer. It takes you down. You don't want to be involved in that. Now, sometimes we are more limited by our attitude than we are by our opportunities. And more often than not, our only disability we walk around with in our lives is our bad attitude. How many people do you know who've been terminated because of a bad attitude? How many friends did you give up because they had bad attitudes? How many times do you drive in a car and somebody isn't pleasant to you and lets you in, and you kind of trying to sneak in, which you shouldn't be doing anyway, but there's people out there that say, sure, go ahead. And you love those people. I love those people. And then there's those people that have a bad attitude, honk their horn. They try to speed up, not let you in. What do you want in your life? Don't you want to have a positive attitude? Don't you want to be a welcome entity everywhere you go? Don't you want people to say, oh boy, here comes Roger. He's the best guy in the whole world. I love talking to him. I love being around him. He's so positive. He's so energetic. Oh boy, here comes Carl. Boy, is he, he hangs around Don. Carl and Don, they're just big downers. They'll suck all the energy out of you if you let them. What do you want to be thought of? Do you want to be a Debbie Downer? Or do you want to be super optimistic to where people are excited to hang around you? Now, our attitude is the control center of our lives. Attitude is more important than education. I would rather work with an uneducated optimist than I would with an educated pessimist. How about you? Now, attitude is more important than looks, than money, skill, or talent, than material things, than being born into royalty. It is more important than what people think, say, or do. Attitude will make or break a dream, a project, a great company, and even tear apart our most treasured possessions in life, our relationships with loved ones and our family. It will even wreak havoc and ultimately destroy a trader. You cannot afford to have a bad attitude when it comes time to trading. You just can't. Think what it says up here. A bad attitude destroys so much in our lives. So what's the value? Why do you get up every day? You get up every day to be productive. You don't get up every day to be unproductive. You get up every day so you can do constructive things, not destructive things. And so you have to think through the importance of having a great attitude. Now, if you don't take charge of your attitude, your life circumstances and events will do it for you, whether they be good or bad. I am in charge of how I feel today, and I am choosing happiness. Now think about it. If negativity produces more negative results than positivity, and if negativity holds you back, and positivity leaps you forward, why would you want to have a negative attitude? Now, some of you may say, well, my bad attitude's because of circumstances I'm going through. My bad attitude is a chemical imbalance. And it might be. But you know what? The fact that you recognize it places you in a responsibility to overcome it, to change it. Your significant other will love you more if you have a positive attitude and an optimistic outlook on everything you do. Your family will love you more. Your brothers and sisters will love you more. If you're the negative Debbie Downer of your family, change it. You will get more love. We talked about how love is the most important thing in this life. And I'm here to tell you, if you go into trading with a bad attitude, you'll struggle. Do you know, for 5 solid years, I went to my computer with a bad attitude. And I would walk there with a mindset of negativity. And I would say, and I'm going to lose pips. here today. And you know what? I would lose pips with that bad attitude. And I'm going to be talking about what I did to change it, because when we alter our attitude, we alter our lives. When I started to become positive, I started to make all kinds of money. And so alter your attitude, alter your life. Now, a happy person is not a lucky person who has a certain set of incredible circumstances, but rather a person with a certain set of incredible attitudes. Now, who would you rather be around? Somebody positive or somebody negative? Because you get to choose who you get to be. You don't get to choose who everybody else gets to be. That's their business. But you get to choose who you get to be. See, how many times have you been told, learn the skill of taking lemons and turn them into lemonade? See, that's all attitude. See, that's all about having the courage to overcome your challenges in your life. I talked about adversity. You know, the first thing adversity does, it's there to find out what you're made out of. What are you made out of? Are you going to crumble with a bad attitude? Can't believe this happened to me. Or are you going to conquer? I'm better than this problem. See, when it comes time to trading, so many people crumble, but not me. See, my rich-minded mindset is bigger than any of my challenges and any of my problems. When it comes time to trading, my rich-minded mindset, my desire to be a successful, consistent, profitable trader, a master trader, is so much bigger than any challenge this market can give me. That's the mindset you have to have if you want to become a master trader. Now, the attitude with which we approach life will overall be the same attitude we will approach trading. You cannot afford to go to the trading table with a negative attitude. I'm here to tell you this right now. You go to the trading table with a negative attitude, you've already lost. You have to be optimistic. You have to believe that there are no dead ends. You have to believe that everything negative that happens to you in the market is nothing more than a blessing that's there to teach you. It's there to help you become better. It's there to develop you. You are like a diamond in the rough. And everybody, in choosing a negative attitude, let's discuss the consequences, okay? Your outlook on just about everything is pessimistic. The mind becomes very closed. Your vision becomes very narrow and myopic. You emit negative energy. You are generally unhappy and most people won't want to be around you. You walk around feeling faint-hearted, delusioned, dejected, mad, frustrated, and feeling cheated. Okay? It attacks your health, which is the worst of all things, is to have it attack your health. Now, everybody, if these are the results of a bad attitude, why would you even want to have one? Now, I don't want you to believe that I never have a bad attitude. There are times I just wake up grumpy. There's times that, yeah, you know what? I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go do what I need to do. And so, yeah, I have a bad attitude. But you know what? I have the courage to fight to overcome that bad attitude because I already know the results of a negative attitude. I can afford a negative attitude in my life. I have the responsibility to change it, and I change it. These are no benefits. And so you need to realize a healthy, positive attitude is contagious. But don't wait to catch it from others. Be the carrier. Be in the business of being awesome. Okay? That's what you're in the business of. You want people to love you, not to go like, oh boy, here comes Roger again. Okay? No, you don't want that. You want to be the one people love being around. I love what Dr. Phil said. This is what Dr. Phil said. When you interact with people, do you leave people feeling better about themselves after you leave? Boy, I remember sitting on the couch watching Dr. Phil, and I thought, man, that's a powerful statement. And I started to think, I wonder how people feel about themselves and about me after I interact with them. As I sat there, I thought, man, I know some people kind of glad I leave. You know, they don't like to interact with me. Okay? Well, you can't change anything you can't recognize. And so the first step is to be able to recognize that a bad attitude, negativity is not a welcome entity anywhere. So, in recognizing that when I got around people, I started to consciously think, okay, I want them to feel better about themselves when I walk away. I want to feel better about myself when I walk away. I want everybody to feel better about themselves. And in order to do that, I have to walk around with a positive attitude, with a belief that nothing is impossible, that there isn't anything that I can do that's impossible, and there isn't anything they can do that is impossible. Everything's impossible. I need them just as much as they need me in my life because we are social beings. We all need each other. So you need to realize that sometimes it's bad things in life that are there to make us or break us. It's our positive attitude that allows us to say, I'm going to let this challenge make me, not break me. Do you realize some of the worst roads we travel on end up leading to beautiful destinations if we let it? When adversity comes into your life, don't think negative. Don't think like, man, I can't believe this is happening. Believe it, okay? And don't be thinking that you're the first one that had to deal with it, because you're not, okay? I've gone through so much stuff, and you know what? And thank God I'm as old as I am, because when I was younger, I'd be like, God, I can't believe this happened to me. Okay, I can't believe I'm having to deal with this. Now I'm prepared to deal with anything with a positive attitude. And that's how you enjoy life. I love my life. I live a wonderful life. But I still have problems. I still have challenges. It's just that when I go to attack those problems, when I go to overcome those challenges, I respond with answers that are greater than the challenge or the problem. And therefore, I overcome them, and they don't linger on in my life. And a large part of being able to do that is walking around with a positive, optimistic attitude that I can achieve and overcome anything. I feel this way. If we literally can put a man on the moon and bring him back, there just really isn't a whole lot we can't overcome in our lives. Now, the problem many times is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I was like, man, I got my life all planned out. I can hardly wait to get into my 40s, because by about 45, I'm going to be so wealthy, I'm not going to have any problems. Do you think my problems went away? My problems haven't gone away. I get up every day and I still have problems and challenges. Do you realize my mother died in my arms? And when she died in my arms, I thought to myself, man, even as merciful as God is, He had no mercy on a person's last breath. When my mom was sitting there in my arms and I was looking at her, she had a problem. You know what her problem was? She was trying to breathe. Up until your last day of life, you're going to have problems. So why not welcome these problems into your life? Why not master the skills of overcoming them? Why not take on a positive attitude so that you can enjoy life? My mother, she had the most beautiful, positive attitude in the world. And I know that when she was struggling for that last breath, she was doing it with dignity. She was doing it with respect for God. She was doing it saying, you know what? I fought a good fight. I did all the right things. That's how we need to conduct our lives. You know, The problem many times is not the problem. The problem is our attitude about the problems. Don't have negative attitudes about problems because it doesn't work that way. Now, what are some of the real big differences between successful people and unsuccessful people? It's their positive attitude. That's all it is. Man, I'll tell you what, you want to see negative attitudes? You know, go to McDonald's, go to fast food places and watch people stand in line waiting to order. Boy, do you have a boatload of people with negative attitudes. I can't believe it's taking so long. You know, what's the problem? How many times you been to the grocery store? You know, somebody has coupons in front of you. My boy, they're thumbing through the coupons trying to find that best coupon. Okay, and you're sitting there, God, I can't believe this is happening. You know, I got things to do, you know. But, you know, if you sit there with a positive attitude and patiently wait, there's nothing you can do to change it. You know, when you take on a negative attitude, you're ruining your own day. You're ruining your own life. Don't do that to yourself. And so stay positive. Now, everyone wants to find a gold mine, but you already have a gold mine. Now, I want to talk about a book out there called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And I've taken some information from this book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And what I urge every single one listening to me is you go out and you buy the book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, because this book changed my life. This book helped me think in a positive attitude. Now look, let's go back. Your mind is our most precious and powerful possession. It holds an untapped power inside it that can change your life forever. You do not need to acquire this power, you already have it. This amazing power that is already found within your body is called the subconscious mind. The power of the subconscious mind is governed by universal laws that are unchangeable. Think of your mind as a garden and yourself as the gardener. You are planting seeds of thought with your conscious mind into the garden of the subconscious mind. The seeds are your habitual thinking. What you sow, you shall reap. You cannot plant an apple seed and get an orange tree. Now, the conscious mind is like a captain on the bridge of a ship, sending orders to the crew. The seamen are like the subconscious mind who control the boilers, the engines, the gauges, the rudder, and so on. They do not know where they are going. They can only follow orders. But they trust that the captain knows where he is going. Therefore, his decrees become law. Now, what you think about, you decree, and it will come to pass. Whatever you want, once you convince it to your mind, you can nurture it into reality. See, first the thought, then the action. After the thought, your subconscious mind lines up all the laws of nature to get its way. All you have to do is get your subconscious mind to accept your idea. Once that happens, the laws of your subconscious mind will bring forth the results. Where the mind goes, the man follows. So stop writing blank checks to yourself like, this is really hard. I do not think I can make it. I'm going to run out of money before this happens, and so on. Such statements magnify and multiply your losses or situations. Now, everybody. In other words, we get to be our own fortune tellers. All we have to do is believe that we can do it. Now, when you go about believing things, you can't believe those things with a negative attitude. It's just like my mom used to say, you can't have a positive day with a negative attitude, and you can't have a negative day with a positive attitude. But everybody, we need to have a positive attitude so that we can have our subconscious mind kick in and deliver to us what we want. God, I love this line right here. After the thought, your subconscious mind lines up all the laws of nature to get its way. All you have to do is get your subconscious mind to accept your idea. Once that happens, the laws of your subconscious mind will bring forth the results. Wow. You know why you're at where you're at today? Because you thought yourself there. That's right. You thought yourself there. The car you drive, maybe you drive a really nice one. Maybe you drive a beat up one. Whether it's nice or beat up, you said, that's what I can afford. Why didn't you say in your mind, I can afford something better than that? Because see, when you start thinking in a positive mindset, your mind goes about making it happen. That's the key to success, is properly believing with a positive mindset. Now, so the real key to success is find your ultimate dream. It can be anything you feel to be impossible to accomplish. Then take total control of every thought within your conscious mind and focus those thoughts every day on that dream with a positive attitude, never wavering or giving up until your ultimate dream comes true. Wow, what a powerful statement. Until your ultimate dream comes true. Now, I dare you to dream. I dare you to pull out that piece of paper that you're trying to conquer your fears on, and now I dare you to write down your dreams. Because when you create a dream, the dream becomes in the mind of the believer and in the hands of the doer. We're not given dreams without being given the power to make those dreams come true. All you have to do is learn the skills to make those dreams come true, and you'll be on your way. You know, it's important to have dreams, but it's more important to be true to your dreams. There's going to be problems along the way. Overcome those problems with a positive attitude, not with a negative attitude. You'll get there sooner than you ever thought possible. Now, once you make a decision, the rest of the world conspires to make it happen, because after the thought, your subconscious mind lines up all the laws of nature to get its way. See, don't think things are impossible. Impossible simply means I'm possible. You are possible. You can achieve anything. You need to understand it. You just got to be clear in your head what it is. Write it down. You'll go where you write down where you want to go. You've got to create a plan for your life. I never cease to be amazed at people that plan their vacations. Boy, man, we got a week, honey. And they sit there and they plan the whole week, okay? And then guess what they do? They go on vacation and they have the best time of their life and everything turned out according to plan. And then they come back into their real life and guess what they do? They just survive. I challenge you to start to make a plan for your life. Because when you get in the habit of making plans, do you realize you only go where you plan to go? You never can go anywhere you don't plan to go. Just like you plan your vacation, plan your life. Do it with excitement. Do it with a positive attitude. Because I promise you, you'll end up where you're right out to go. And so all I'm trying to do is getting you in the habit of planning, because when it comes time to trading, you got to create trading plans. How you do anything is how you do everything. You need to get in the habit of creating trading plans. That's how you find success. And so if you don't grasp any other concept out of this mentorship, grasp the importance of a positive attitude, because that is everything to your financial and emotional future. Everybody, when I changed my life, it happened because I changed my attitude. So I changed my attitude, I changed my life. Remember I told you about walking to that computer with a negative attitude? Man, I'm going to get beat up today. I'm not going to make any money today. I'm not going to make any pips. And you know what? What I think about radiates out of my being, creates circumstances, events that align with what I think about. And sure enough, I made no money. But when I read that book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, and I started to change my mindset from a negative mindset to a positive mindset, I started to skip to my computer. And I started to say, today's the day I'm going to make some money. I'm here to capture pips. I'm excited about trading. Do you realize that that's when my trading turned around? So I challenge you to alter your attitude so you can alter your life and change your future for the better. Thanks for listening. This is the Chief.